Hey fellows, so with the end of the year approaching, happy holidays by the way, and with my channel ever so slowly getting infected with Blocktails content, and also being my most viewed videos, it would only make sense if I was to rate and rank every little demo that has been out, and also because I really can't wait for Demo 5. So that makes 2, I guess. So yeah, I'm not really gonna be rating them on any categories per se. It'll just be like my personal experience and stuff, and hopefully find some moral ground in my ranking. Let's start from my least favorite to my most favorite. Furthermore, it's been a while since I've played any of these demos, so I might be talking from a completely fuzzy spot. If I say anything incredibly wrong, please tell me in the comments down below. And remember, I don't necessarily think any of these demos are bad, but I just favor some over the others. And one last thing, everything is an opinion, which means you don't have to agree with me. Ooh. Now, this might be a total surprise to quite a few people, but yeah, out of the first 4 demos, Demo 2 is probably going to be my least favorite demo for Blocktail so far. By no means is it dare say bad, but compared to the others which we've gotten, I think it's quite lacking. Firstly, you might already know the big quote-unquote issue with this demo, and that would be that it's the shortest out of them all probably, or I think it is actually. Even though it's not really a big problem, but after a few months of waiting, people are expecting a little bit more content. And no, I'm not a dialogue skipper for the most part. In fact, Blocktails is probably one of the only other games where I don't look at the logs or skip much, because I find the dialogue to be quite entertaining. The shortness of this demo really didn't give me enough time to be as invested into the story into something like the first demo. And you might say, Nate, demo 1 was 5 minutes longer. And yeah, I won't disagree with that. It was, but the amount of character building and world building they did in that was great. But as for demo 2, it felt like to me it just dialed back a little bit more and became a little too much of the same thing. The pacing for this demo just kind of felt a little bit off to me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really good at explaining things, but it just felt like things were happening a little bit too quickly. Although the main highlight of this demo is also one of the biggest highlights for the entire Blocktails community, the Griefer. This guy gets non-stop glees in the Blocktails fandom, and I guess it's for a good reason. He stole the entire spotlight in demo 2 for acting like this bratty rebellious teen, which is a personality type obviously missing in a game like this. Also, his boss fight was pretty cool, even if it was pretty annoying the first time fighting the bubonic plant version. All in all, Griefer did carry demo 2, and in my honest opinion, Venom Shank is probably one of the lackluster swords. Fight me on that. A surprise to many to see Demo 4 so low on this, to which it isn't that low because there's literally only 4 demos in the game yet, but you get it. Although, yes, Demo 4 did amaze me with its twists, maps, music, especially music, and even the enemies. I did place it below Demo 1 and 3. I enjoyed quite every single bit of this demo, I'm not gonna lie. It's just that when compared to those above, those were just, I don't know how to say this, but they were just better in my opinion. Like the story, pacing, and even other things, which is, I guess, kind of controversial. What I do think, though, is that this demo probably has the best OST, which isn't that crazy to say. Most notable tracks would be the Ancients boss fight, Screamer, even the Finn McCool theme, and my most favorite out of them all, the Red Sun Temple theme. It's just such a good track, man. I love the lo-fi aesthetic within the song, and that's why I've used it in so many of my videos in the background. It's peak. Thank you, Medjed. In fact, it's probably playing right now if I remember to edit it in. Even though I enjoyed the story beats in the other demos a little bit more, I liked what they had here too. Like Captain Trotter's inner self-conflict, more forwarding hints as to what the player might do with the swords, and also just Calypso as a character in general. She was a great addition. And when we were in combat, she would do the wrong move every damn time. Anywho, the best character is the Great Falchi though. Don't fucking at me, man. Which brings me to another point. This is probably the funniest demo, I'm not gonna lie. And I get it, my humor is cracked and all over the place, but for a Roblox game to intentionally make me chuckle a few times here and there with the dialogue and other actions is honestly a pretty strong mark of achievement. And 90% of this demo is just from Falchi himself, hence why he's probably on the cover. So yeah, I really only put Demo 4 down here because I just like Demo 1 better. I wouldn't say it's really because of nostalgia completely, because it hasn't even been 2 freaking years yet, but more because I just personally liked it more. I don't know, I just I feel obliged to put Demo 4 over this one, but I just have some sort of tip-touch spiritual connection with Demo 1, and Here's the best reason why. It's the introduction of Tutorial Terry, aka the best character in the entire game. But yeah, I just really enjoyed the entire vibe of this first demo. It was the first one to introduce us to the entire world and the best and first town in the entire game, Bizville. Now, Bizville to me is like what Leeway from Genshin was to me from a few years ago, if that makes any sense. It was just such a comforting place, and like Bizville, despite us being in here for less than 5 minutes, honestly takes the spot for one of the best locations in the game. Also, come on, the Iron Cafe. Just that alone just makes it such a good place. Top 1 spot in the entire game. Okay, anyway, about the actual demo itself. I really like the setup we had to Shetletsky, the path to get there, and also the boss, Red and Blue. Pretty good introduction for your first boss and a reoccurring duo that's beloved by the fans. I really enjoyed the other landmarks too, such as Road Town, another cozy like spot with a secret, and Blackrock Castle. This entire demo was the moment I knew that Block Tales would be that game, and by that, I mean an actual good game. Also, the mechanics introduced here would also be another good thing, which is probably because it's the first demo. Yeah. And Cruel King is a fantastic boss who gives us the best sword in the entire game. Let me just say, once we're in the pit or anywhere that requires a higher level and contains harder enemies, this is probably your go-to sword to spend an OG on. Not gonna lie. And even if you don't take damage, the SP gain is still crazy. Come on now. I bet the Wind Force isn't gonna be as good as the Ice Dagger, but we can all hope, right? So honestly, Demo 1 is still elite even after all this damn time. Yet there's really only one reason it's number 2 on this list. And yep, you guessed it. It's because Demo 3 just exists, man. Demo 3 is what I think personally to be the best demo of all time so far. We'll have to wait for Demo 5 to solidify that, and the other ones, but Demo 3 has been the demo to concretely let me say that Block Tales is one of the greatest games in Roblox, and I put that on your soul. Jeez, dude, I love literally almost every aspect of this demo, except maybe one thing, and that was because we barely got any damn screen time of the slasher. Come on, man, he was such a cool character, and an easy boss too, and he was on the front cover. But from the start of Demo 3, I loved every single bit, like literally almost every single section, starting with the train part, which is honestly my second favorite section behind, you know, the one thing that everybody takes away from this demo. I just love this introduction and the travel there. The train is also just such a lively spot with some secrets here and there, and like, I guess it rivals the Iron Cafe in terms of coziness if we're doing that. But even after the train and the noob's boss fight, it picks up the pace with the Haunted Manor, which is also crazy. Then there comes the biggest twist of this entire game, which, you know, it brings us into an entirely new atmosphere with the Ghost Walker. It comes from the inner psyche of us, the player, which basically is the best part of all the chapters so far. No lie. Some might even argue that the pacing is a little too slow in this part, but I think it's perfect. I like the way each boss was presented to in this realm, like Greed, Solitude, etc. Also, some of the top 5 OSTs were in this section, like Solitude's boss theme. Can't get over that. This entire part in Demo 3 is just such a... how do I put this? A nipple twister. And that's precisely why I hold this demo near and dear in my heart. I've never seen this type of stuff in like a Roblox game. Originally. Yeah, it's taken inspiration from stuff like Amori and even Yumi Nikki. It's just... oh, total chef's kiss. So yeah, that's just my rankings of the demos that have come out so far. And I really probably most likely could have gone into more depths on certain parts, but I just don't know how to really describe it, if I'm being totally honest with you. I just like some demos over the others, and that's just because I can and because I do. So leave your ranking of your own in the comments, subscribe for the fun of it, and I guess we'll all have to hold hands and wait together until Demo 5 comes out. Yay. Which shouldn't be too far from here, at least hopefully. So with that being said, see ya fellas.